Hello, one and all, and welcome to Disney Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your Dungeon Master, August Schmidt, and with me, as always, this time of the week, are our wonderful Disney elites. Say hello, everyone. It's good to see you
Hello.
guys. Oh man, this is such a fun group, and of course, for those watching, this is a D&D 5e version where we play a Dungeons and Dragons Disney homebrew. We don't own any of this property. Please don't take this away from us. But that being said, to briefly recap, last we saw our heroes carefully breaking into Cruella de Vil's apartment. Belle, having seen these visions of this woman and her evil, you all carefully made your way in, searched the apartment, and even when Vanessa Benson approached you all, and carefully keeping that disguise up for quite a while, gaining good information, honestly, eventually the jig was up, destroying Ursula by sending her into the stratosphere with a well-placed reverse gravity, hightailing it out, and Belle, with that big decision that you and Adam made, publicly claiming yourself as Oracle, Cadel and Adam then completely just wrecking house on that apartment with the Council Princess, getting all this information, finding all this stuff, as now Cruella de Vil is the most wanted person by the Sumani Guard. Technically, it is wanted for questioning, as most of the stuff they could charge her with, quote unquote, would still have to be proven, but it's still enough to say you don't just get to run free in this city right now. To which we will actually then kind of pick up the session with back in your guys' apartment. What you know is, again, Snow White made it back to town. That was actually one of the few things I should have mentioned, where Snow and Florian are back in town after being in Magencia for a while. And in learning all this, it's that let's start talking and figuring out like what to do, shall we say. Because as you're all sitting here, Snow and Florian are kind of like beginning that like, hey, this is what happened. And so I want to ask you guys, what would you like to do, or what would you want to be your next steps?
I have a list.
I love it.
Pulling it up. So one of the things is I want to like find out where in Desanya the lizard folk are most like live the most. Get a hold of their authorities, but also the authorities everywhere, because people travel.
Yes.
And say any missing persons need to be found immediately, because that was something that Vanessa Benson mentioned, was that she said that we might be getting a lizard folk soon. So there is somebody who is in great danger. And if there's a missing lizard folk person, I would like them found.
Yes, that is a good thing to do. All right.
I also would like to get in contact with Rapunzel and ask what she knows about Varian. When the last time she saw him was, and if she doesn't know that he's mercilessly stabbing dragons, I would like to break that news to her as gently as possible, because I know how fragile she is.
Yes.
Hey, your once best friend has just been murdering people. How do you feel?
It's terrifying. It really is. Okay, that's a good one. Yep.
I also want to dig into this octopus thing that Vanessa turned into. What's that about?
Excellent.
And start digging into whether or not the ring that Adam has is fake or real.
Got it. The authenticity of this ring is very important.
And then if it's fake, I also want to maybe ground Agatha a little bit. And you can't have these magical items anymore. You're a little bit too unstable to be taking care of these important things.
Yes.
This might be a good step as well, just to make sure that she doesn't have all of them.
Yeah.
Alrighty. These are very good things. Here's what I'll ask you. So, Belle, you have this list. I'm making my own list to like help give you this information. So, I'll ask Adam and Cato, do you guys have anything you want to add to this list? Or things like, hey, let's also tack on, like, maybe this should be on our order of operation kind of vibe?
He
I
also
will
never
say-
leaves my sight.
Oh, sorry.
He never leaves my sight.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just-
And vice versa.
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't believe your site. Fine.
yeah.
I do want to know because I remember from the whenever like Vanessa was telling about all that stuff, like she said like Tendavilius helped her with her little assassination with the person that she thought that Cruella killed or was spending that week with. Um, do we want to just count that as a lizard person, or just also like, hey, do we want to like keep an eye on Tentavilius and all that?
I mean,
Um,
finding out where Tintavilius is, Vanessa did say that he's outfitting the armies.
yes, yeah.
And so if we could figure out where he is, maybe we can put kind of a stop to that. I'm imagining that it has something to do with kind of the Frodo Shan Yu situation. Because when we came down into underneath the chapel, it looked like they were outfitting armies in some way.
Mhm.
So there might be some connection there. Maybe it's not the same thing. We
Also
don't know
wondering
that.
if there's any connection with the armies that the fake Mr. Incredible was talking about.
Right, armies that. Was he still making armies? So fake Mr. Incredible is still around too.
Was
Yeah.
Was.
like before he was because he was gathering people
Mhm.
before we banished him.
Excellent.
And Cruella was very anti Mr. Incredible's armies.
Anti-null, well, because it was null, undead, and just undesirables in general.
Yeah, it's listen, you served only a year of jail time, but normal people aren't going to hire you, so be a foot soldier for Mr. Incredible's army. It was supposed to be this, like, good, like, ad campaign of, like, everyone can be a hero, but the doppelganger, Mr. Incredible, kind of twisted that around and just hired a ton of undesirables, and yeah. Excellent.
I will say I would like to investigate more about what the specialness of these silver rings are, because like Frollo had one. Did Frollo have one? I know Sean Yu and Ursula had one. Did Frollo have one?
Actually, if you would all like to give me a history check on that.
Yes, please.
Because that was
something
one of
I was
those-
Trying to remember.
Yes, it's did he have one, did he not?
Oh, my dice are loving me right now.
Same. I got a 3. Yay.
Oh, I got a 27.
Oh, that kind of loving. Okay.
Both kinds of love today, apparently.
19 plus 8 history, so.
Well done.
16.
16. Yes. Cadle, it's that like, did he? I didn't really see much when, the bomb went off. Belle, you're not sure, but I will say, Adam, you distinctly remember that both Frollo and Sean Yu had a ring on.
Okay.
To some capacity. Whether it was like ornate or simple, like they had these rings. And now that you've seen, yes, it seems like these rings are coming into play right now. In which case, here's what I will say. This is a good list to go off of. Again, you guys, because it's like that, all of these interweave, there's stuff you can do. So here's what I will say. In bringing up this list, what Snow can help you with, Snow can give like an immediate, the lizard folk in Sumani, typically the larger portions of them actually live in the outskirts, like past the gridlock of the system, more off into like the actual field lands, because it's more of they're not the engineers, entrepreneurs, or merchants. These are just the race of people that the majority of them live excuse me, the official name of that quadrant of the city, I can tell you in 2 seconds, is Scaleston. I thought it had a fun name, but yes, Scaleston is like what we would consider like, Chinatown or, Little Italy. Like, yes, this ethnic group of people live here. It's that name. And Snow can tell you it's one of those. Right now it is a little late tonight, but as of right now it's not hard at all to get there, like in like an hour or two journey, just like outside the city general. With in regards to Rapunzel, what it would be is Snow could send off a message to Rapunzel. She could give a sending to her, to which I would then ask Belle, you can like type that up. We'll text it to Lonnie right now. It'll be that like, hey, you're the character, and I mean, their session is tonight anyway, so like, I'll say she can answer even before the session. I'm not gonna like make her wait and then you guys have to wait. So yes, we'll text her, and then just like read the answer, on camera, just in that like, hey, did you know about this? Blah blah blah. Because Snow can help with that. In terms of stuff like, what is Vanessa and like Titavilius, like these people, this might be one of those hit the book kind of scenarios, because Snow right now is based off of information given. The woman is known as Ursula. She has been in Sumani before. It literally was right when Belle and Adam, you guys left the Imagineers. It was right after Belle became the Oracle that they encountered Ursula in the sewers of Sumani City. She was the one that was creating the plague that was killing the city. And the Imagineers banished her away. She came back with Maleficent for one last push on Corona, but no one actually figured out what happened to her. It was that unfortunate. Everyone's so busy with Maleficent, and when Tiger Lily, sacrificed herself at the cauldron, no one realized where she went until she was gone. As well as all this, so that's like one of those like, and because Snow says no one really knows who she is. It's one of those big mysteries that like we have this description, but it's been hard to figure it out. As well as with Titavilius, it's a let's look into public record and library and just like that court of public opinion of who is he, because it's one of those, yeah, the CEO of By and Large, but what does that mean? Like, who are you? And finally, with the rings, you have Adam's ring with you, right? Because Adam, you can even sit there and you're looking at this ring kind of in that like pensive state with, but I saw this as well. It looked like an exact copy. Is this the fake? And so that's something you can do literally right now, is start casting stuff like identify, detect magic, start doing stuff with this ring to say, what are these things? Because this might help with like Cadle's that question of what are these rings in general versus is this a real ring Adam is holding?
Okay. And I guess with the rings, Adam never actually saw one of them in use, and so I guess he wouldn't be quite sure.
Adam,
Because
you saw the Ring of War Hook was using when you guys fought Hook. That was the first horseman, so that was actually one of the rings you were able to see. So you have a bit of grounds, because it's not like I saw Hook using it, Mr. Incredible then took it from Hook, and then eventually, you took the ring from the fake Mr. Incredible and sent it to Agatha. But it's like you have like a decent background of like, I've seen one. This is the one I took from Thumbelina when I asked her for it. And so it's that like, so what does it mean?
Right. Okay. I guess in that case, I have detect magic, so I can just cast that as a ritual.
Excellent. Perfect. I'm going to say, as you cast this as a ritual, what you find immediately, Adam, is yes, first of all, this is magical. And that's actually of that first, like, oh, good, it's not a fake. This isn't like a fake ring. But as you're pulling it up, I'm making sure I give you everything that Detect Magic can give you. This ring has a faint aura of powerfully deep arcane magic.
Okay.
The last time you saw a magic type like this, Adam, was around the sun, moon, and star. So you know this is a artifact legendary type item. These are things that are as old or older than our world. Excuse me, as well as with the cauldron. When you guys kind of got the cauldron before Meg unfortunately betrayed you, it's that level of magic, is this ring. The other thing you know is that there is no set school of magic around this ring, which is interesting because, like, Belle, you actually know more about schools of magic from Agatha in the sense of like conjuration versus evocation versus transmutation, right? Like, so this ring doesn't have a set school of magic, partially because of its just power behind it. It's that once you reach a certain level, you are all the things. And so that's what you get with your Detect Magic. It only takes like 10 minutes, but it's that like, this isn't a fake. And boy, howdy, is this not a fake.
Okay. In that case, next suspicions might be wrenched towards is Ursula's a replica? Then if they're able to replicate this type of ring,
Can they replicate the magic with it?
yeah.
Exactly. And that's something where it would be stuff like identify, because it's like there's still stuff obviously you can learn about this, but now it's yes, can they replicate it? Is this something that we have to worry about?
Which that would require another encounter with Ursula.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
I'm not in the
Well,
mood
the
to
next
summon
question
her
too
today. It's not gonna
So we're here with sunburst.
happen.
Right.
Well, I think the next question is to like, just because they can replicate it, would it still be on that same power level?
Right.
Or would it be like your
Like just a cheap knockoff or something like that?
it's a great value versus your
No, exactly, Belle, right? Like, yeah, you're trying, it's the same concept, but artifacts are artifacts and magic items are magic items. It's a clear distinction.
Yeah, so hopefully it wouldn't be a replica of the power. If this is the real one, though, it could also be a red herring. I left a few of those out as well, but I think just every time, next time we encounter someone kind of big, maybe we take special interest in whatever jewelry or things they're wearing.
Yes. I'm making a quick note here. 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I had to quickly write something down as I realized it's important for all the parties to get some information here soon. So yes, with this then, that's kind of what you guys are getting. But you know, you could keep studying the ring. You could go out, find other sources of magic or knowledge, right? Like, you know, like none of these avenues, I should say, are closed. But as of right now, at this time of night, it has become that sense of, if we were to go out now, it's late, and it's not in a bad way, but especially Adam and Belle, you know that it's more easy to get attacked at night. It's easier to find times to surprise people, and especially with Belle's proclamation, there's a lot of paparazzi actually outside of the court of the Council Princess, because it's that like everyone wants to see the new princess, right? Like, get her picture, get a statement. Oh, and she's the Oracle now too? What? That's never happened in our history. Like, and so there's a lot of stuff right now, so it'd be hard to, let alone go out and be safe, go out and not be swamped with people.
Yeah, and that would kind of defeat the purpose. We're not wanting to go out and yeah.
Love the people. Don't want to talk to them right now.
Perfect. Alrighty. In which case, I will say that you can easily get to sleep. It's been a big day, but so you will receive those benefits of the long rest after your fight with Ursula. So everyone's feeling, thankfully, much better now. And so what I will then ask, the next morning, what would you like to be your first plan of attack? Would you like to have multiple plans, or is it a let's figure it out?
What are you going to be focusing on? I think I'm going to look a little bit into Tedavilius, but not if it looks like he's just a normal businessman or doesn't have anything kind of sketchy. Mr. Incredible was a fake, and from Bell's visions of demon lords, from Cato's detection of demons, it's not a stretch that he could be an imposter. And so if there's nothing that jumps out, then I'm not gonna spend too much time on that thread.
Okay. All right, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Cool. You want to do that? Cato and Bell. Bell, would you just like to go with Adam and Cato with Adam, or would you guys like to do anything other slightly different?
Yeah, I'll go with Adam.
Because I was thinking about doing something else, but honestly, with everything's been going on, I feel like it's best we stick together.
Gotcha.
I'm definitely putting my cloak on for going outside because I do not feel like getting the attention. So yeah.
Yes, I will actually say, is there anything you guys want to do to try to receive less attention? Otherwise, it might just be like a stealth check out of the building. Like, hey, let's go the back way, out the gate, because there's still people here, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I have pass without trace. So yeah, I think we don't really want to have everybody's attention. So maybe trying to slide out the back gate or some other way. I can also cast pass without a trace around everybody to give us a little bit more of that magical stealth.
Ah, very clever. Perfect. In which case, yes, go ahead, everyone. Make that stealth check, but again, pass without trace, plus 10 to whatever
Do
you
a plus
roll.
10.
It's crazy good.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even need that. Okay. Oh, I have advantage on stealth. That's okay.
Yeah, much
So
better.
I got a 33.
Jeez Louise.
It was a natural 20 plus 13. So
Excellent. Cadel and Bell, what'd you get?
I got a 16.
Oof.
Yeah.
Plate armor sucks. I mean, you are in a full suit of armor, Cadel. It sucks, yeah.
yeah. It does.
So that is 29.
29. Here's what I'll say. It's that unfortunate, like, Adam and Bell, you guys, you're both used to not being centers of attention, even though sometimes you are. It's the hood's up, very subtle, slip out. Cadel, you get a little bit of attention as you slip out just because people go like, is that a knight? Just like clanking of armor. But Cadel, you then wonder, oh, maybe they were talking about, because you see actually like a knight and a convoy of people around him are also walking up to the Capitol building while you guys are leaving. So it's not like, oh, okay, they just think of a knight, like, okay, nothing big, thankfully, like whatever that knight's doing, have fun as you walk away. Well done. You all successfully circumvent the crowds. Where would you like to go to learn about Titan Villas? You know, you could probably go to like maybe a by and large building here in town. Or you could try like again, the Sumani Library has a ton of books, or you could try going to like other stores where by and large would be like sold or in distributed.
Hmm. My thought is just some place with public records. I don't want to get the information from by and large itself. They're not going to. Everything is going to be for their company. Where I want to kind of get a more neutral view of Tedivilius.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Our last infiltration worked well, but I don't want to push like doing another infiltration thing.
Yeah, if he's a big bad demon in disguise, I'd rather not accidentally walk into him.
And his specialty is weapons, so
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would really suck to run into a big bad demon. That line is specifically for another group, and when they watch this, they'll know. As you guys, yes, let's not run into anything big. So yes, again, I love library sessions, but it's that the public record libraries are the best places for information. You really can find anything you need. So when you guys get there, yes, as a group, if you want to start making these either history or investigation, it's kind of that twofold of what can I just read or what can I naturally like literally just like look for.
So I got a 9,
Ooh, okay.
but I have a +8 history. There's a natural one.
Oh,
So not sure that I'm gonna get. Oh,
It's a
okay.
7. I don't like
got a
that the
12.
7 and the 1 are right next to each other on the dice. I got a 7.
it's the worst. Yeah, you look at your dice and you're like, what? Who decided this? Cato, what'd you get?
a 12.
12. It takes a long time. After some point, I'll say, Adam, you quickly realize that the book you're reading from is like a log book for immigration records from like 80 years ago when this nation was founded, and quickly realize this is not helpful and boring. like on that now when even though it's 9, it's like you're getting good stuff. You're like, oh, interesting. These people came, and then it looks like they went to work for Bindler. Wait a second, this is just like true public record. This is just boring stuff. Like this actually may not help me. But Bell and Keto, you guys start scrounging up records, and you find a good sizable stack of stuff. There are, of course, the public records about the buildings when they were bought and sold. You find stuff about the distribution centers of them popping up. Because again, it's like, to draw a parallel for a certain store in our world, you have a distribution fulfillment center that ships off to the other stores and homes where you need them to be. And so finding these like distribution plants is very important. And so if you make another round of checks, it'll take more of the day, but it's like this, like you have the stuff you think you need. It's just now really making another set of history check with advantage to really dive in and like read through the books and go, okay, now is this gonna help?
And we still need to. I think the other thing is we want to talk to the lizard folk as well. So I don't want to spend too much time here, but at the same time, it would be nice to get some information. What do you guys think?
I do want to look up see if there's anything else based off of him, but just curious for you guys, how much do you guys know about what's so special?
About what?
Like what makes silver so important? Because it's just like these rings and pieces of jewelry share this characteristic, like, other than like, what I as the player know, like, hey, they're good against werewolves and all that crap, but like what makes silver special for making replicas of these rings?
I don't know.
Can I roll for that?
Yeah, you could, Bell, if you want to.
What would that be? Just
Um,
history or
History or Arcana, I would say, because it's either like what do I know versus what magically could I know.
Is this it's 20?
Synth 20. I will say this, very important about silver on itself has many known uses. Of course, there are cursed creatures like werewolves, vampires, usually things that like are quote unquote unholy curses where it has corrupted a human soul to take a form. Silver is actually magically in spell work a what we would think of as pure metal. For those that actually know science, it's yes, because silver is an element. It's something that has like a base property, shall we say? It's a higher grade, and it's to you that it's that fun science fantasy blend of the exact number of protons and electron balance that silver has is enough to counteract cursed soul objects. It does have a like magical property to it where it can go against like soul curse bonding stuff. It's why it hurts werewolves and why silver dust can be used in healing potions. But Bell, on a synth 20, you're realizing that while this information, there's so much that can come from silver, none of those properties share in with these rings or other items you've seen in terms of power level. And you almost have to wonder, are these rings actually silver? Because true silver shouldn't be able to hold that kind of magic property. Whereas like normal silver, yes, has good stuff. This might not be silver. On that synth 20, it's that these rings might be more than just silver, if that makes sense.
Because that does make a lot more sense because it's just like, you know, if silver is like usually used to counteract against like cursed people and cursed objects, we for sure know that Frollo is an undead entity that is literally the base level of cursed, if I'm not mistaken, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So really, like before we leave the library, just realizing that I want to quickly find a book on like different elemental metals and
Yes.
like specifically magical metals, and see if there would be
Heck yeah.
anything that we could like.
Go ahead. I'll say this will be like an investigation. All of you can make this, and it's like while leaving the library because it's not stay and read and study. It's let's just try to grab something on our way out.
I'm sorry.
I think I have good investigation.
That is a 15.
Ooh.
I got an 11.
I also got an 11, but mine's from that one.
Oof. Bell, you have such amazing buffs now. But yes, as you guys are looking, Adam, Bell, you're looking through, and it's like you guys go straight to like the metal section and magic section. Like, okay, metal, magic metals, cursed metals. Cadel, you actually find, I will say on a 15, a book entitled Metalwork and Objects. Whereas like Adam, Bell, you guys are finding books like metal. It's kind of the stuff I told you, like the properties of silver, right? Silver can be used in healing. Iron can be used against Fae. Like very like I won't say basic, but like stuff you could discern. Cadel, you do get this book of metal and magic objects. That is a rather thick book, unfortunately. So again, you can take it with you, check it out from library kind of vibe. But it's going to take further time and an investigation or history check to start really reading into this, any of you, to see if it holds better information.
Let's check it out and we'll read it on the way.
All right.
Who was the best of the investigation?
Yeah, who's got good investigation history?
If we're being metagamey, I have a good history. Belle has a good investigation.
On a scale of 1 to proficiency bonuses, who can do this? But yes, you guys have good stuff. And so what I will say is, Belle, you actually see this elven woman who is working the front desk today. It's like you're walking up, Belle, and quickly realize, oh, do I have a library card here? Like, I don't think it, but when the woman sees you, she gets super excited as again, oh, the new council princess member, the Oracle. And they like wave it. It's not like, no, you're good. We know. It's also like, yeah, and if it goes missing, they know who took it. Like, it's not like other people where you're like, we need documentation of like, what's your name, where are you from. If you steal this book for any reason, they probably could quote unquote track you down to get it back. So she's not gonna like take your ID or anything. It's not like, oh no, yeah, take the book.
Oh, thank you. Like,
I do want to tell her, it's just like, please do not tell anyone who was here.
Give me a persuasion check for that.
Good thinking, Kale.
That is a 17.
Well done. You beat her. I'm calling it gossip check. It's actually a charisma based thing she rolled. Basically, like you see, she goes, "Oh, of course, official council business. It's just a pleasure to meet you." Like, just gives you like an awkward like bow, like nod thing that she does because she's excited to meet you guys. And yes, you can leave the library with this book and head off. Would you like to head to Scaleston yet?
I think that's the logical next spot.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless Kale, unless you were thinking something else, or
Well, at first I was thinking like, hey, let's drop out the book, but then again, it's just like, nah, let's read it on the go. So yeah, let's go to Skillsmith.
Awesome. As you guys head off, again, heading from the library, you can kind of see on the map, it is the southern part of the city. You are going to be heading almost straight up and out. So it takes a while. It is a lovely, if you've ever been to Metropolitan, think New York, right? There's always foot traffic. There's always the stop to let then vehicles pass and other persons walk. And Sumani is alive with news. Again, from your base stealth before, that kind of triggers, you guys aren't being like spotted by people. It's again, normal people aren't going to think like, oh, the brand new council princess member is walking by me while I eat a hot dog, right? You know, human perception is actually pretty poor. But as you are all moving through, you see though the city is, after the Sumani wave, is actually for once pretty lively again. It's been a while of bad news bears just over and over for people. And so it's nice to have like something fun to talk about or something good news. Because also, as you pass that natural rumor mill is going round of, and Cruella DeVille of DeVille Industries. Yeah, no one's seen her since this got. I heard she wasn't even in town when they put out the call. Like, but I mean, you can't argue with an Oracle, okay? Well, I don't think she's an Oracle in my opinion, right? Like, everyone's naturally talking about this, but it is good energy though. It's not negative, depressing. Everyone seems excited.
that's great.
And after a few hours, you find yourselves starting to reach outside of the city. You're getting into these suburbs, boroughs, and townships. And after a moment, you think you have made it to Scaleston because the ground around you becomes much more spongy and wet as you realize there are light sprinkler systems that every so often pop up out of the ground, spurt water, and go back under. And for those in a metagaming way, this isn't electricity. There's some cool engineering going on to help keep this part of the city much more moisture filled and wetland for lizard folk who naturally, being cold-blooded creatures who like the sun and wet areas, it's helpful for them. Scaleston, though, is alive with a bustling market. This is actually a place you can get a lot of meats. These are carnivorous folk. They have to eat meat to live. And so passing by, there's fish stalls, pig stalls, cow stalls, and stalls, again, nothing humanoid, right? I mean, there is laws and stuff saying, don't eat us. But you're noticing a lot more, oh, I'm not really into eating those, but I might consider them a pet. But for lizard folk, it's like, oh yeah, these are livestock for us. They're in abundance. They're like, hey, would you like a sample? But again, fresh cut meat markets, butchers everywhere, leather workers, a lot of this good craftsmen. And honestly, the smell is actually quite lovely and interesting because again, the wetlands mixing in with that like kind of blood iron smell and just scale and that reptilian all combines to make this aroma of mystery around this township. But as you guys enter in, what would you like to do now that you are here?
My first question is, do lizard folk speak Draconic? Because my character can't speak Draconic.
Ooh,
That would be
interesting.
good.
So, Gail, if you want to try, you could.
What would that be under? Like just
Oh, that's just like role player just saying I would like to talk, because it's like that's
Okay.
one of those you won't know until you try. Because it's that like, well, Draconic is that more reptilian language, so let's try it.
Okay. Just as a group, what like, I don't want to be like, hey, so do you know Tentavillius? What do you guys think would be a good question to ask?
Directions to the police station.
Yeah, because if we're looking for missing people or
Okay.
or other high profile
Sounds
people.
good. Sounds good. I'm going to go to the nearest
Yeah,
one that
it's a little
like,
pretty safe if they're like, what?
Excellent. Yes, Cadel, you go in, and the nearest merchant you see is actually chopping up what seems to be like pork rind, kind of in that like just chopping, washing it, sterilizing it for like mass consumption. Looks at you as you walk up, and in very broken calm, just Isehiro, how are you doing today?
I'm gonna reply in Draconic. It's like, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Immediately, this dude looks rather pleased. Just, you speak the lizard tongue. I'm so pleased. Come here, my friend. Immediately, like big crash, like
I'm just gonna be like, just an awkward pat on the back. It's like, yes, it's good.
It is so less often that you hear a human like yourself speaking our tongue. But thank you so much. You've done me such an honor. But please, yes, how may I be of assistance to you, my friend?
I would like you to tell me where the local police station is in town.
Oh, the police guard. We don't have a guard. We have a sort of local militia. We do have to rely on Sumani guard for ours. But we do have a local sheriff. I think that is, you see, that's a common word that Adam and Bell, you hear him say. Sheriff. A sheriff, I believe that humanoids refer to for general protection or peacekeeping.
Yes, that will work. Would you please point me in the direction where his office is located?
Of course, my friend, of course. You see, he gestures, taking the path northward, turning left, going 2 more streets down, and when you see the public fountain, take that north again, and you're there.
Okay. I want to just be like, kind of give like, just like, thank you in Draconic and like.
He gives big old hug back. You see, the lizard folk, they are a very familiar race. They rely on that intimacy. Big hug and just like, of course, my friend, please. He gives you actually some of the like what we know like in stores like irregular meat shape, where it's like, hey, this isn't cut to perfection, so it's harder to store together. A bag of like pork rind that if you fry up is a pretty good meal. Think of it like the odds and ends of bacon, shall we say, right? So like gives you just a bag just in thanks, because again, like no one just shows up and speaks your tongue in a city where it's a common, right? Excellent. And you guys can immediately find the sheriff's office. As you approach, what you notice, lizard folk, they're not looking at you like in any sort of hostility, but it is curiosity. As normally humans steer away from the lizard folk due to, well, appearance, right? These are not like Dragonborn, where it looks very regal and there's, yeah, they're dragonoid, but it's like, oh, but they look cool. Lizard folk are that eyes dart in different directions every so often, heavy scales, right? And they eat a lot of meat because they have to. And so there is a lot of unfortunate, just like prejudice where they're like, oh, scary lizards. But as you approach, a lot of people are looking in this curiosity of, well, what are these humanoids doing here? Eventually, you find your way to the sheriff's office. and see that the door is closed when you approach.
Is
not-
there? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go for it.
Is there like a notice on the door that like says it's like either vacant or something like that?
Yes, you see that the sign on the door, because, oh yeah, you speak Draconic, that's going to make it very much easy for you, is that Merrick is his name. Like Merrick, think like America, but lose the N. So Merrick has gone, will be back before low afternoon, or what you could think of as about like 5 or 6 p.m.
What
I
time
want
is
to relay that information to Bell and Adam.
You relay that information again. You guys got a pretty good start on the day. That even going to the library and up, it's only about 11 o'clock right now. Still pretty early morning that we could think, but almost noon.
So we'd have a while, and I don't really want to just be hanging around. Are there like other Sumani guard available, or
Yeah, if you make a quick investigation or perception check, it's that like, are they passing through? Because the guards have like more set patterns, so it's like, is anyone close by?
so that's 18.
18. Bell, on an 18, you are able to see like what seems to be like guard approaching. It's just that general like quick platoon of like 4 to 8 soldiers, or 4 to 8. Sorry, I'll enunciate. 48 soldiers. But yes, they're approaching. I'll probably be to the town in about like the next 10 to 15. Because that like not a slow march, but you were trying to go. It's kind of that sweep again, like through the streets. You wait for people to move. So yes, guards are like on their way in a general sense.
Okay. I might want to leave a message for the sheriff, just saying, "Hey, we're these people. This is who we are. We stopped by, and we
Gotcha.
wanted to look into your missing persons records and
Excellent.
Other people that might be
okay.
in danger.
Yeah.
Yes, we have reason to suspect that Cruella de Vil was after somebody here, or might have somebody here.
And so someone is in danger, and we want to find them.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. That is a big thing. And I will say with Cadel, you could leave the note in either common or draconic. That would be like your choice.
I feel like Draconic would be better, just so it's just like I don't. He doesn't have like he probably does know because he's a sheriff, but it's just like it's annoying when you're trying to translate something.
Yes, language barriers are a real problem sometimes. And so yes, leave it in draconic. Cadel, you help write this note and can kind of pin it to the door underneath that sign that yes, so when the sheriff returns, you think he'll be able to get it. In which case, as this is happening, what would you guys like to do now? Because you know, like guards are slowly like going to reach this township in a moment, but you could like go elsewhere or start doing other stuff.
I think maybe if these guards spend time here, they might have some other insights as well. And so maybe as we can go up and talk to them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you talk to a beat cop who like works in a certain like neighborhood, they usually know the neighborhood better. It's the assumption of you should understand the people you're serving. So yes, Adam, Bell, Cadel, you guys kind of like intercept in as these guards are almost to Scaleston. As you approach, you actually see the guards see you, and one of them kind of like raises that like Sumani symbol flag, almost in that like hail of attention, like in a oh, we see you and we're trying to flag you down.
Oh.
Okay. I guess we get flagged down and go up and
You see
Yes.
This human woman kind of flags you down, just excuse me, are you King and Queen Belle of France?
Yes.
Yes, of course. You are being asked for back at the Capitol building. A knight has issued an official summons of challenge to you, Adam.
Knight.
Yes.
What did he give his name as?
You see, she goes, no name given, but credentials check out with emblem and shield. Again, this is the information I received from my superiors before we went on patrol this morning.
Okay.
August, I sent you a text. Do you mind checking that real quick?
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay.
And
Challenge.
yeah. Can we ask, like, do you know what the challenge is for?
You see this woman kind of like she said, just if it was told, I was not informed, but it seems to be just a general chivalric knights challenge.
No, she said that there was an emblem. What would he had an emblem on his shield? Is that what she
Yes,
said?
that
I wanted
it's.
to ask what was that emblem?
She goes. Unfortunately, I was not made aware of the emblem. Simply that it was legitimate.
Okay. I guess we'll be back. Did we leave any way for Merrick to contact us?
Oh, if you want, you could tell him to like find us at the Capitol building. You could just say like, "Hey, here's our home address. Find us tonight," or something like that.
I think that would be better. Yeah.
For now. Send us a, if you have sending your message, like
Yes.
shoot us
Shoot us a
a
text.
mind text. Like, if not, come meet us sometime.
No one uses messenger hawks anymore. It's all mind text. Come on, it's a new era.
This is the future.
We're not living in 9112. It's 9261. Come on. Yeah. But yes, it's that like if you have access to it, send us. If not, here's where you can find us in the evenings. Excellent. As you do so, you can also still ask these guards. Like these guards are gonna walk with you in that general like police escort kind of way of like, hey, you're high profile. We're not gonna let you walk alone. As you do so, you can talk to them though about Scaleston if you'd like.
I do as well. So we're here investigating some potential dangers to some of the civilians here in Scaleston. Do you have any idea if there's been any missing persons recently, or any thoughts about anybody else that might be in danger?
This woman actually kind of nods as in that way of like, yes, we have heard. There's been a few lizard folk over the past few weeks. To my current knowledge, we're working on a 4-person missing case report. But I'm curious to ask, we have received these reports, but unfortunately, we weren't looking too serious as it is not uncommon for territorial personal disputes among the lizard folk to fight each other or of course all illegal. We do have law in Sumani against this, but if they were to fight each other and should the worst happen, take care of the bodies and we wouldn't know, it would only show up as a missing persons report for us. But yes, we have about 4 or 5 that are missing.
Thing that they have in common.
You see, this woman's going to make a pretty important check actually. You see, she kind of shakes her head, unfortunately. Just, to my knowledge, no. They seem to have been. One was a bit younger, not yet maturity. 2 rather older males. A 3rd female. One that seemed to just have a recent move in. All different demographics. It's also why we didn't assume any missing persons, as again, these could be things that the lizard folk themselves could have internally handled, shall we say.
I was gonna say I would strongly advise heightening your investigation on finding these people, because at least one of them is in danger.
You see this woman nods, just goes, yes, of course, Lady Bell. As you wish, we will do so. As fun fact, Bell, for the first time ever, your orders hold more weight than atoms. You are a council princess member, so if you say something, yes, this is like a you do it. Uh, excellent.
You do.
As yes, any other
I also
questions?
just want to give her the explanation of you've seen the newspapers, you know what happened yesterday, but this is what we're, this is why we need to find these people now and make sure that, inform the other lizard folk around just so that nobody else goes missing.
Yes.
Keep their
see-
children in the house, make sure they know their neighbors are safe in their houses.
This woman nods. A second woman runs up, gives her a notepad. She's gonna take notes of this. Just yes, of course, this is important. If these are important missing persons case, current to the Cruella de Vil APB, we'll definitely make note of this. I'll pass along to any of the other townships that I understand of. Thank you, Lady Bell. I will make note of this as she will. As this happens, after a moment, you guys find your way back into town. With the police escort, it goes much faster as you don't stop for traffic, you don't do anything. And of course, as it goes on, you eventually become thankful for it as quickly people realize who you are. Lights of arcane magic cameras flash, people are cheering, people are it's again, cheer yelling. Because some people are yelling out questions or maybe not the best of comments, but the overall public opinion seems to be of nice interest as, oh, cool, a new council princess member, the king of France as well as Cadle. Some people are even oh, this royal bodyguard, oh, that's so cool, secret service member. Everyone's looking at you guys. After then a few minutes, shall we say, or well, more than a few, you see the Capitol building approach, and Cadle, you see the knight that was approaching the Capitol building when you left is still standing out front. As you all approach, this knight draws his sword and a point towards Adam, not in a threat, but just like that, I'm gesturing. And people start again, pictures, newspapers cheering, all these things. And as you get close, you can go ahead and make me perception checks.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Yes.
Let me say 22.
And that is a nat 20.
A natural 20.
That is a 14.
14. This group, Bell, you are going to clock something immediately that I will say in a moment. Adam and Cadle, you are seeing these people gathered. This looks like a knight and some veteran, or shall we say, I think the official term is squires. These people behind the knight. You see, there's about 6 of them. They are wearing simple armor, hoods up. It's that very we're the squires sent along to help. The knight standing in front of you, though, has a long sword and shield, and on the shield is a symbol. You see the symbol is almost like a cross, but it really isn't. It's rather the top of this sort of cross shape bends up like a spade, and the arms that come across on the ends of them are blunted like maces. So like a spade, mace, and the bottom is just a normal looking kind of cross end. The knight is wearing simple armor. This is a blue cross looking thing on silver shield. As he sees you approach, again, the crowd's part, other Sumani guard, they're keeping civilians away, kind of push back in. As this man kind of, again, sheathes the sword, but then gestures towards you, Adam. King Adam of France, I am one Zamrish, Knight of the Order of Peace. I have officially challenged you to a duel of combat in name against the slander of one Lady Cruella de Vil. You see, again, Adam, everyone immediately, as this is big. This is yo, what? The knight continues. You have slandered said woman's name, wrongly and unjustly given evidence against, And thus I issue challenge upon my knighthood. As this is happening, Belle, your eyes flash blue for half a moment as you look at not just this knight, but the assembled behind him. And those behind him all seem to have pointed teeth. But Belle, you blink again and realize they didn't open their mouths. And you realize you just had a minor oracular vision of all 6 of these people behind the knight seem to be vampiric in appearance, just like the ambush you received on the Day of Love. This knight has taken off a gauntlet. You see, again, like true armor, the metal gauntlet is off. He still has, leather gloves on, but throws it down in front of you, Adam.
You see, this is a matter of high importance. The Oracle's word has been taken for centuries in matters of defending the public interest, not just of Sumani, but of the entire world. Where would we be without these visions of the Oracle? I mean, there are a few other historical cases of where the Oracle has helped done these things. The rise of Chernobog. I do not see how this could be slander coming from the visions of the Oracle. Do you have any evidence in favor of Cruella's innocence?
You see, he goes, a notable gesture. He turns and bows to you, Belle. I take the Oracle with great reverence. The divine magic of the future is one to be held in reverence. I do, though, hold and proclaim, oracular visions are not for any one mortal to know. The gods themselves do not know the future, and thus we can only take to assume what we might divine from interpretation. Thus, we cannot simply rely based on one word of vision alone, as visions may be distorted, misunderstood, or mistranslated. At this point, he kind of turns at him, and this is now not just you, but to the crowd. I act upon the good name of Cruella de Vil, having given much in terms of charity towards the people of Sumani, philanthropic work towards the poor, jobs given, lives restored, as she restored our order to its glory, giving us not only financial, but sanctuary physically in our darkest hour. Right, like he gives a rap sheet. He goes on for about a minute or so, basically saying what you guys have heard. Right, it's like,
yeah,
she is the billionaire. She's a philanthropist. She's a social worker. Right, all these technically good things in the public eye. You see, and this guy kind of turns just like, and thus I issue this challenge as a simple matter of what I think to be right.
How public are the kind of results of the search of Cruella de Vil's manor?
Here's what's very important. The search of DeVille Manor is not public yet. As if there is to be an official court proceeding, it's kind of that to officially catch her, shall we say, you can put out this APB, you have the word of the Oracle, the word of Snow, the word of Belle, and you guys and the council. It's and no one's gonna say no to that. But in terms of quote unquote evidence and search and seizure, if this becomes public knowledge and you try to hold a court, a people's court against Cruella, it's going to be so hard for jury duty, because it's how do we find a jury of peers? Because if everyone learns this, suddenly that feels preferential, as well as they are still going to be trying to prove that it's quote unquote hers, right? Dusting for prints, looking for magical prints. We got to make sure we can prove it's hers, as well as we don't want people to just know this, because then people might steal it. They might plant more evidence. They might plant fake evidence. It's one of those kind of detective things where you're it's so good to have, but until we have the witness in question, we shouldn't let people know we have it.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to kind of step up towards him, kind of put a hand on his shoulder, And like I'm grateful that she was able to help you guys out, and I'm terribly sorry that that these things have come out. And I'm gonna kind of like drop my voice more, just like so that only he really can hear. But I'm gonna just kind of explain. I saw with my own eyes the torture chambers and the blood in her wine cabinets. I spoke with one of her associates that was clearly evil, and she is devising these plans to actively kill people. And so I'm sorry that this is such a difficult thing. But I do believe it's for the greater good of the people, and I am sorry.
You see, this man turns to you. He is going to lean in as well, very close to your ear, as this may be a personal conversation. As he does so, you feel the cold breath of his mouth and just speaking to you, just like, I know what you have done, Beast King. I seek retribution for Our Lady. If you will not fight me, I will find one who will uphold. Do you want that on your conscience? Let another person die for your sins.
So I guess Adam's kind of putting together that maybe these guys, it's not just some group that Cruella helped come up that's upset that we kind of defamed their patron. That these guys are a little bit more involved than that.
Yes. As this is, and Belle, like, you don't know it yet, but it's like Belle, based on that Nat 20 vision, it's like, oh shoot, things are making sense, if that makes sense. So you see, this knight does draw away and just, will you accept my challenge, King Adam? Or will you find a suitable champion for you?
So, is there any way for you to tell me? So I guess
As I'm like watching this and Belle's unease is going up, I'm like,
I
something
would like to
really
divine
hard
sense
here.
on everyone.
Ooh, divine sense, Cadel. You divine sense. All of the people in front of you, Cadel, are undead.
I want to shoot a message.
I think my
to
next question is, because I'm able to tell that I'm undead, but like I know I'm a skeletal kind of undead. Am I able to differentiate a little bit, like, certain types of
Yes.
undead are different, you know what I mean?
Yes, which actually that is the only downside to divine sense for you. It doesn't tell you differentiation or species, if that makes sense. It's enough to it's hard to be like what kind of stuff. That's more ranger sense, that primeval awareness, to say like, oh, I can't pinpoint, but I also now know like what types, what things, right? For a paladin, it's like, oh, I know you're undead now, or I know you're fiend, or I know you're celestial. Sorry, Belle, we didn't mean to cut you off there, but yes, you were saying messaging to Adam.
I want a message to Adam and to Cadel and just like kind of a confused like mini vision. These people have fangs.
And Cadel, you can now just like message back, piggyback, like reply all.
Okay, so I guess putting together maybe vampires. So, I guess.
Is this face covered?
Okay, if you request a duel of sorts, then I can see that this can happen. It looks so that you are more outfitted for a physical sword to sword type duel. You see, I am much more. I'm not quite equipped for such a combat. Cadel, however, is outfitted for such a combat. If you are willing to take a champion instead, this can be arranged.
I need you to make me a persuasion check. This is Boxadil.
Oh my god.
This is huge stuff. Let me get the Box of Doom. I actually have, fun fact now, an official Box of Doom camera.
Okay.
So you guys will be able to see what happens here. So let's go to our Box of Doom stream.
Ooh, that was cool.
That was a fun transition.
Thank you. And normally, for people who are here in the audience, or like if we have sessions in house, people will be sitting in those cams.
Yep.
Here we go, Box of Doom. I'm going to roll this dude's like level of persuasion that you need to beat.
Okay.
I will let you know, Adam, that this with persuasion, it's charisma based. This dude isn't like huge with charisma. He only has a +2 actually. So you know that it's like whatever he rolls in theory isn't going to be crazy, but it's still persuasion and beating him.
Okay.
So here we go. He's going to roll his, and I'm gonna just shake it downwards, and there we go. It is hard to tell there. That is an 8.
I have +6.
So I'll just put it right there so people can see. So
Okay.
you know, Adam, on a 10 or higher, or excuse me, 11 or higher, you could persuade him to do this. This is big.
So he has an 8 + 3 persuaded. Okay.
Or 8 + 2, so you need the 11 because you have to
Gotcha.
beat the DC.
He's gonna roll an 18.
Ah, Pug! Great use of portents. Oh, you love to see it. Here we go, back to our normal session. As you, boom, Belt, you saw this in your morning visions. Adam, you watch as this man turns, and he gets a smile. You think, based off that conversation, this dude's like, fine, let someone else die for you. As he goes, very well. Do you accept this challenge, knight? As Cato, you see, he gestures to the gauntlet on the ground.
I'm going to pull out my sword and stab it in the ground.
You see, the dude chuckles just. Then let us waste no time. As a cheer goes up from the crowd, because to everyone watching, oh, how fun! Like, they're fighting for honor, night battle, like, what a fair fight. As this is great for public morale. For you guys, it's, oh no.
Yeah.
The man takes your sword off, like, takes his gauntlet back, obviously. Yes, Adam.
So, this is clearly going to be an outside duel, perhaps at the stadium, where everybody is present and everybody can watch. I would also like to cast Control Weather.
Oh.
I mean, it'll take 10 minutes to it'll take 10 minutes to cast and kind of work through. But is that something I would
yes.
like to cast Control Weather? Okay.
Adam, as yes, every 1d4 minutes, the next stage of weather. So yeah, what kind of weather are you trying to make? It can be a temperature thing, it can be a wind thing, or it can be a precipitation thing.
I want it to be clear and hot.
Awesome.
Hey.
These are vampires. I want this no cloud cover. I just want as much UV radiation coming through as they can.
You absolute punk. I miss this. This is good. Here we go. All right, you want to play dirty? Let's play dirty. Here comes D4. So yes, the first stage, Adam, is going to take about 30 minutes to clear up. But unlike, even though guards are immediately escorting you, so you see the stadium in town where like games are held, where competitions are held, is far up northeast. And so it will take a while to get there. It'll take about an hour, even with like escorts, just because everyone's going to start coming along. So half hour goes by, and Cadel, you feel, even though, again, you have no skin, but the temperature goes from a normal, maybe slightly cloudy day to what we call very warm. From warm, let's see the next D, well, 10 minutes later, 40 minutes, 20 minutes to go, it is now hot today. and it's gonna, unfortunately, that was a 4. So over the last 20 minutes, in the next 20 minutes, it is going to become unbearable heat. And this is 5 miles around. Fun fact, yeah, the entire city is now heavy heat wave. This is Phoenix, Arizona in the summer. It's 120 degrees. Human beings shouldn't be alive. Adam and Bella and Cadel, you see, like, so many people. I'm going to take a note actually from the Latin community. Piragua vendors are going like ice shaving down for people as, you know, come see the fight. Piragua, only 2 gold for 5. Piragua, like they're jacking up the prices because 2 gold for 5 snow cones. What the heck? But like, it's that. Oh, it's so hot, and there's people going to see this fight. Come get your snow cones. All this is happening. Everyone is coming. As word is going out, throngs of people are heading to the stadium. As you arrive, it is hot. But oh no, it's gonna take, because 20 minutes. They're gonna spend at least a half hour as people arrive, because again, this is a major source of income for the city. Where like, yeah, people will come, they'll want to buy vendors, it's food, have fun. So they're gonna hold the match about a half hour. So yeah, Adam, it is working. You know, your concentration is up. 8 hours. Adam and Bell, you are actually escorted to the official top box. It is a portion of the stadium very close by to you. Or to Cadel. Because Cadel, let me quickly, I'm going to pull up for you our game map here. Let's see, our game board. Here we go. So our game board, here we go. There's Adam Bell's no for it. Here we go. Cadel, let's bring you down into the ring. As this is a one-on-one, this is a knight's duel. So the stadium, like a lot of the stadium is going to like close in, like, you know, mages and different like elemental wizards are going to like shift it around to make this a little more reasonable, right? It's not like, hey, you're not going to watch a fight on a giant soccer stadium. So this stadium right now that you're going to see here, I'll kind of expand, is a pretty basic like up and down, like you've got a good 100 feet in either direction. Adam and Bell, you guys are going to be in the top box. Good heavens. This is just right off to the side. So like you're very close by. Like this is, again, you can see and hear everything. Other people are going to be relying on like arcano projection, illusionary magic, where like wizards that are watching the fight are going to project it up to these big screens. As you also see, this is important to note, the other squires of the Order of Peace are going to be sitting a few rows behind you, and I'm going to reveal them, and then it's very obvious, as these seem to be the vampires. Like, you guys already know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the knights are going to take their positions, Cadel, you see that appearing in front of you, this knight, again, his shield and sword in hand. You've got your buckler, as well as your sword, normal shield, everything. So which I'll ask Cadel, because you'll have a moment before the fight officially begins. Would you want to use your normal sword and shield, or would you like to use the buckler with the extendable short sword for your weapon?
I think for right now, I want to go sword and shield.
Okay.
And like, you know, if there like comes a moment where it's just like either I lodge one in there, then I lodge like my sword into him, then I pull out my buckler.
Gotcha. So start with your sword and shield, and if it gets caught, well, that's why we have this. Here we go. Also, this is a knight's duel. You guys are gonna have your steeds.
Okay.
I'm pulling those up for you right now.
In this case, this is oh gosh, because I was thinking like, you know, because he is a Pegasus, but I've also like Cadel's tried this before. He was thinking of also probably a Griffin.
Oh, yes. Here's what I will say. Because find greater steed, you probably have a chance if you were to like cast it. Yeah, it takes damage. So on the way, yes, Kato, if you want, you have every opportunity before the match begins to use a 4th level spell and turn Philip from his Pegasus form into a Griffin form.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Excellent. Here we go. Griffin form Philip is coming out. Yeah, I love to see it. You kind of actually see him in the bottom. Here is your steed. Here we go. This is super cool. I love it. I'm here for it. Here we go. I'm going to link you guys up. So yes, because as with any Knight's Duel, you start mounted combatant, and then if you get knocked off, you turn to sword, and the first knight to fall or yield loses. There actually, and this is where it might seem a little archaic or barbaric. There is no like time. Like this fight could go for hours, or it could go for a second, or like, and no one's gonna stop it because it's like, well, that's knight order. It's one of those like old laws, like if a knight issues this code of honor, we're not gonna say something. Here we go. As this happens, your Griffin will now also be in this initiative. Putting him in there. Excellent. I now would love everyone to roll me initiative.
Was a 16.
And the 17.
Ooh.
10.
Excellent. Here we go. 16 Adam, 17 Bell, 10 for Cadle. The Beast is technically Adam's initiative. Here we go. Zamresh, the Knight, got a 19.
Oof, okay.
The Vampire Squires got a 17. Yikes. And Philip links with you, Cadle.
I mean, if they.
So here we go. Oh, and let me send out the initiative tracker.
I think we've been doing that.
Here we go. And clipboard for all of you guys.
Yeah, I've been sticking with undead. And we've been, with our True Love's Kiss, we've been sticking with undead as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to say, unless you tell me otherwise, that's what I will base go off of, because that's what I've noticed has been the trend.
It's kind of more expected to run into undead than demons, but demon,
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Could change every now and then, but for the most part, yeah.
Alrighty, here we go. Cadle, you watch as...
I will ask this,
Yes.
with my intercept fighting style, how would that work considering like on a one-on-one duel?
So fun fact, this is actually, it's one of the give and take. This is a type of fight that is very unhelpful for interceptive fighting, as it's always best for your fighting style of, oh yes, if I'm fighting with other people, I can be helpful, I can do things. It doesn't actually have the benefit here. You would need the duelist fighting style or the great weapon fight. Stuff like that is better for like night duels. And so that's one of those, like, it's that unfortunate, dang, if only like this was a 3-man fight, that would probably be helpful.
Okay, all right.
You see that Zamresh, as he gets into the field, you see, I don't have it for me, he puts on, though, an intricate helmet. Think like Gondor in Lord of the Rings, right? It's got that point, kind of like his emblem, brings it down in, and has a slight visor over the eyes. As you see, draws longsword, holds it up to the crowd, everyone starts cheering. And as this initiative begins, you see he is holding his initiative for the charge. It is that normal, like, he and his steed moved off to the side, so it's that like, or excuse me, he's right-handed. So he's moving, so it's that like, I'm waiting. So once you take your turn, he'll also take his turn at the same time to like attack with you. In which case, yes, Adam.
Quick clarifying question. So you said you put on a helmet I was under the assumption that he was wearing a helmet up to this point.
Yes, he was not wearing a helmet up to this
Okay.
point.
Okay.
That is important to note.
Okay.
And actually, I just realized I can move this a little bit in because this is what you guys see. So this is kind of the like area, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Yes. In which case, that would actually make Belle's turn.
She went to the restroom quick.
So we will hold. I'll say Belle can take her turn when she arrives. That natural, like, just easy track. That makes the squires. These squires all like politely applaud. You see, they do not speak a word. They're not like cheering. Again, the rest of the stadium is like pounding their own shields, screaming for their like personal champions. These squires are just polite clapping, not saying a word. But you see they all like are still leaning forward in their seats. And so you know they're engaged in what's about to happen. Adam, you're still concentrating with that control weather. Again, even if you draw concentration, it will take time to go back to normal temperatures. That's actually the cool part of this spell. So what would you like to do at this point?
So, I mean, at this point, I'm not necessarily going to be... I trust Cadel, and if this guy's giving off undead stuff, he's been undead smiting stuff and been working well. So, really, at this point, I guess during the whole setup, I've requested a box of water that I've just been using shape water to freeze and then gust to blow cool air over us.
Oh, so, you straight up have made your own mini AC unit and just lazily, like, it's the most like bougie ratchet, like cool way of literally cooling yourself, pun intended, where like, yes, can I just get a box of water? And you're going to get those weird looks, but it's like, freeze it, blow the air as, yes. And so, because Adam and Belle, you're not passive in this fight. Like, this is still an encounter where you know things are going bad, but it's what might happen.
Yeah, so at this point, I guess I'm watching for something bad, but I'm not actively doing anything at this point.
Excellent. What I will then say, this is actually very good to note, in which case, Cadel, that is officially your turn.
I think the first thought is like Cadel. It's just like, well, maybe this will make me make up for the mistakes I've made in the past. And like I'm thinking about like the last time I let Frollo go, like I've let one of the vampires escape. Maybe this will help make up for that.
Yeah.
And he's gonna charge.
Excellent. Here we go. You see Zamrish pulls out his sword, points it at you, squares up. Here comes the charge. Cadel, let's roll against each other. As thundering towards each other, your Griffin going in, his Pegasus steed going out. Here comes the attacks. You both make 2 attacks, actually. Oof.
Oh, this is so stressful.
You can do it.
You can do this. Cadel,
That is a 19.
19. A 19 barely misses. You get 2 attacks, though.
Okay.
Oh my. Oh.
He hits with both of his attacks, though.
Frick, dude. That's a 15.
15. As he comes in, first of all, you see he comes in hard across your chest. Boom! And immediately circles back. So as you pass, boom, hits you in the back. Cadel, here's what's interesting to note. He is using 2 hands. So that's D10 plus that damage. Jeez. You take 46 points of damage. As boom, boom, slashing across. You feel heavy hits as you realize not all that was normal damage. That's necrotic damage, baby. You understand that this dude has magical, like, just as much as you have that radiant infused magic, he has necrotic infused damage bashing into you. That was slashing. He wasn't using this to impale you, so you're not grappled at all. Because that's one of those things, like, if you choose to, like, go through to try, like, knock the opponent, this was just him slashing. And you watch as, here's what's so cool. This is why I was Box of Doom worthy. This dude, like, as the charge finishes, Cadel, you finish again.
Could I actually reaction slash back behind me as we pass?
Ooh, could you?
And hellish rebuke him?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Okay. And I'm assuming I rolled D20 for that?
No, actually. So hellish rebuke, that's just like he has to make a dex save. Or just start burning up. So yeah, Cadel, go ahead and roll me 2d10. Just for that natural, just like burn him as you pass. He is going to make a dexterity saving throw. A synthetic 21, so he succeeds, so he'll take half damage from this.
Glad I got 2 dice.
Yeah.
11. That's 11.
11, so half to 6, because you round up. So he still takes damage. So even though boom, boom, the crowd erupts as, oh, he got hit twice. And then you just like flick your sword back and swipe the air, and flames roil across the sky, hitting him as the charge. And the crowd goes nuts because they're like, oh, yo, he can do that. Everyone's cheering and screaming as this dude, like, kind of like, he looks like he takes damage, but as you both turn back around, he is kind of like laughing. You can tell, like, for him, this is still like fun, shall we say? So you see, he laughs, and then this is where this is fun. He laughs, points his sword at you, just die, hero. And only you hear this again. The roar of the crowd makes it hard to hear exact words. Like, even Adam and Bell, it's not like, well, he wasn't screaming this, so what did he say? As he points this at you, and I'm going to read you exactly what this charge thing he has does. Each living creature within 20 feet of the vampiric knight of this range must make a con save or take 12d6 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on success. Cadel, are you living?
Nope.
You are not.
Oh my god.
This was going to be his big thing.
Can I also take another reaction against that?
Unfortunately, no. You only get one reaction a round, unfortunately. It's not like, but still a good reaction took with the Hellish Rebuke. So, boom, tries this. You see he points the sword and nothing happens. And he kind of gets that look in his eye, like, what you see actually, thoughts between, he looks to the stands at Adam and Bell, like in that, are you just no, you're just like, blowing air on your face, Adam. Bell, like, Adam's making cool airflow. Like, you guys are just kind of chilling. You're not doing shenanery. As this is just, he picked the wrong opponent. Good Lord. Oh my God.
6.
Oh my gosh.
That is amazing. Oh, I was so excited for that. All right. As that was kind of the big thing. And at the end of the round, Belle, you weren't here, but you can still take a turn if you want. So, like, because Adam's just, like, kind of holding, like, shape water, cooling you guys down, because it is unbearably hot.
Like his little AC unit he's made for us.
It is a 121 day. Like, Cadel, it's one of those, like, you know why you're not sweating. You don't have pores. But it's that, like, this dude also isn't sweating, but looks uncomfortable just being in the big sunlight. But yeah, everyone in the crowd, oh gosh, I'm drenched, but I want to watch this.
I do want to just, like, hold my action and just kind of keep an eye on the vampires behind us.
Yes.
Not totally comfortable with them being behind us.
Yes, as it's that like, oh, but you guys are royalty. You sit up closer, and so it's like that. But I don't want to. Yes, but yeah, easy hold action to keep watching them behind you, just to make sure they don't do anything crazy. And oh, here's what I'll say. Just important to note for you, Cadel. Philip, as a griffin, even as a horse, does have attacks, right? Like griffins have like that beak and claws. But important to note, Philip is taking disengage actions with his movement because just like his sword, if you don't, he could hit your steed. It's that natural, like, I mean, you don't think about this until you actually joust, but it's the like your steeds are just as much of a partner in, oh, I'm moving forward, we're going for the my entire role is to make sure we don't collide and he doesn't attack me instead of you, right? That kind of vibe. So as we begin, top of the next round, again, everyone's cheering. Zamresh turns once again, holding his action to charge at you. Now looking very like serious now. Now that he knows he doesn't have this like big sketchy thing he can just kind of cheese the fight with. So he is definitely like holding and now looks more focused.
And we don't know that Cato is undead yet.
You do not.
We still don't know.
So it's that like as the crowd again, he points at Cadel and then like lowers the sword and like looks around. You guys don't know what's going on. It's not like, what is this? Like all you really know about Cadel is his a little bit of his past, but you don't even know that big factor yet. It's a big thing. Belle, at the top of the round, that's you with your 17. You actually see Belle. The vampire spawn goes before you. They actually kind of move a seat forward. They all kind of like step over in that general, like, oh, they're standing, they're trying to get a better view, but they do move 5 feet forward.
Okay.
Good question. How close are they to me?
Oh, to you, Cadel, right now it's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, because again, you're in like a lower pit, 60, 70 feet away from you. It's hard to do stuff with
they're too far away from me because I was thinking about doing something special for them.
Yeah, it's tough because it's not like, oh, you are in a pit fight, like you're the source of attraction for that like entertainment. Sorry, yes, Belle, that is your turn.
Let's see. I don't want all of my markers to fall off. Let's see.
What are you looking at?
I'm wanting to see if I can turn. Oh, I don't have any like protection spells really. Should
Do
maybe
we not have
invest in that.
protection? I thought you had protection from good and evil.
I do have protection from good and evil.
Oh, it's not.
I haven't selected my prepared ones though, so I could make it prepared one because I haven't changed it from last time.
And one of the rules is I can't heal myself. Yeah.
Yes, Cato. One of the unfortunate things with your lay on hand, because it's kind of like his ability, you can only heal living things, and so it's that like, dang.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which technically means you couldn't heal the vampire because he is undead as well in that sense. So it's that like give and take.
So I'm wondering, I have me and Snow and Florian and Adam right there. I'm wondering, can I cast, well, it's just like 10 minutes, right? No, it's an action.
It takes an action, but it lasts 10 minutes.
Okay, so it would last through the combat. I'm wondering if I could cast protection from good and evil,
Yeah.
but at like 1 level per person. And so it's a level, I mean, it's a level 1 spell, but could I cast it at level like 1, 2, 3, level 4 to get all 4 of us, just kind of as like a little shield behind us?
I would say yes, that is totally doable. I mean, the spell doesn't say upcast, but I'm like, it makes sense since it's a 1-person touch. If you're willing to use a 4th level spell, yes, you can like reach over Florian, Snow, you reach over Adam, and yourself. All of you have protection from good and evil, or evil and good. Meaning, what kind of creatures do you want protection from there, Val?
I think that the undead would be.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna offer like aberration, maybe giants, but I guess undead is good for this fight. Yeah, okay, cool. They now have disadvantage on attack rolls. You can't be charmed, frightened, possessed by them. That's pretty good. As this happens, Belle, Adam, anything you want to do?
So I guess I'm kind of noticing that they're coming around closer as well. I'm not sure that they're going to try to cause any trouble, but I mean, clearly, this could be some type of an ambush. I would like to hold a wind wall.
Ooh.
So I would just like to hold a wind wall for should they jump at us, or if they make the first move, then I am going to cast a wind wall kind of on a line through them to hopefully blow their cloaks and hoods off.
I love it. Here we go. I also think, because here's important to know, just to make sure you can hold it. If it triggers, you will drop your control weather, but it's at the cost of, in theory, we have hopefully time before it goes back.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Belle, you're now concentrating on that protection from evil and good. Adam, you're just holding that. That's beautiful. Here we go. Cadel, as you turn around, again, Philip finishing his movement, kind of last turn to turn you, you see that the fire from this dude, the like light fire that maybe was on the back of his neck, is slowly already gone. And you realize he has healed somehow. It doesn't touch it. Yeah. Vampires, man, they suck. So here we go, Cadel.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Thank you. So I try. I have fun here. Zamrush again. Pulls sword, levels it at you, Cadel. Is there anything specific you want to try to do while this charge occurs? Because you see, he is now charging sword solo down to try to like pierce you. Before it was a slashing thing. This is I'm putting all my energy inwards.
I'm going to raise my shield, like, kind of like against my chest.
Okay.
But like, enough so I can like still swing my sword at him.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm also looking at my spell. What would happen if I cast protection from undead on myself? Like protection for good and evil and choosing undead on myself.
It means that he would have permanent disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
But that wouldn't hurt me because I'm undead.
Yes. Protection from evil and good. It's actually, if you want to know the exact mechanics, it means you would have disadvantage to stab yourself. Which is like weird to think about because normally you have advantage to hurt yourself. And so it's not like, oh, wait. So yes, it's like it won't hurt you at all. It's not like, oh no, I've naturally repelled against me. It just means when anything undead attacks you, it has disadvantage.
Okay. I think I'm going to cast that on myself.
Excellent. You're going to be concentrating on this. And here's what I'll say. It's clever because it's like you're kind of like putting up your shield, casting on yourself, so you won't be like able to like attack as you pass, but it's at the cost of getting a good protection from evil and good on you so that he has disadvantage. Excellent. Here we go. Here comes, it's only one attack because he's just trying to impale you. With disadvantage, that's already a 19.
Oh my gosh.
Cadel, your armor class is 20.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. As thundering through, dust and dirt kicking up, sword out. Right as it goes for you, you feel it touch the middle of your chest, break through the armor, and as that concentrate from evil, boom, bamfs out, whoa, sword is magically pushed to the side, barely missing your armor class by 1 point as he was trying to pierce you to grapple you off of your mount.
Okay.
Boom.
I still have an action and a reaction, yeah?
You still no. So your your action was to to cast a spell for you.
Okay.
And unfortunately, your reaction, like a Hellish Rebuke reaction, he would have to hit for that to happen.
Okay.
Wait for your damage. Yes, he would had to have damaged you to reaction. As that happens, Cadel, you finish, go around, boom, pulling inward. The crowd is going absolutely buck wild as this is cool, right? Like everyone's like, oh, he's about to get stabbed. Like Adam and Bell, you even think like, oh shoot, is that like that's a direct hit? But magically, boom, like repelling like rubber off, just barely misses. Start of the round, Zamresh once again holding actions. The vampires, squires, move forward once more. Again, very slowly, and they're doing deception. Like no one really, like you guys see it, and you know what's going on, but unfortunately, anyone else who'd be watching is just like, oh yeah, they're getting closer to the fight, right? Moving around, changing seats. Belle, that makes your turn.
And I would like to hold my action to steal wind strike the 5 of them that are closest to me, which they're all within range, but I want to hold it if they make an attack first. Excellent. I don't want to make bring attention to us or make a big deal, but if they attack us, then as soon as they attack, I'm steal wind striking.
Excellent. Excuse me, because I have them hidden in the initiative order. But I will say, because Snow White actually happens after you, Adam, and before you, Cato. You see, Snow is already leaning over and like whispering something to Florian. And so, but you're not sure what's going on yet. It's that like just you kind of notice this, Bell, as you like, I'm gonna prep a steal and strike because they're getting really close now. In which case, yes, Adam, that does then make your turn.
I'm gonna kind of like look over at the others, you know, with a side glance back, kind of at the squires behind us. You know, it's a little too hot. I think let's amp up the AC a little bit. I am going to cast my wind wall.
Yo, all right.
Yeah, so we might need to make. Oh, let's see. I guess I don't want to hit us with it, but
yeah. So
maybe just on the row of vampires behind us.
Excellent. You drop the weather. So already, yes, the weather is gonna start decreasing by degrees. I'll figure out that math later. I'm gonna just say, as a DM, probably for the duration of the fight, it's gonna be hot and sunny. Like before any chance of clouds coming back. But me personally, on my off time, I gotta know how fast would it take to return from 121 degrees back to like a normal like 78 degree day. Anywho, because yeah, this is a hot spring day for some reason. Here we go. 12 feet long, 15 feet high, 1 foot thick. Shape the wall any way you want. Each creature must make a strength saving throw, or take bludgeoning damage. These creatures.
My strength is 17.
The creatures take 3d8 bludgeoning damage. As they fail their save. And yes, Adam, by the way the spell is worded, you can center it just enough that all of you guys don't have to. It's that perfect, like, you'll get that light cool breeze, right? As the wind goes out, that like section of air, like, ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, so go ahead, it's a little warm.
Roll that d8 as this wind wall goes up.
Oh, dang it. Okay, that's just 10. I had an 8 on a die, but the other one bounced against it and changed it.
Oh, that is rough.
That's 10.
Still 10 points of damage. Yeah, they look hurt. You see these squires immediately like boom, each are pushed pretty far, or excuse me, just a strength save. Oh, excuse me. They make a strength save throw, but anytime they try to enter it, they'll make it again. So on their turn, they'll probably have to move back or take this again.
Okay. So I guess the goal was to kind of blow back their cloaks. Was that?
Yes. Oh, yes. They are now in direct sunlight, and they all unconsciously it's that natural reaction, that a vampiric thing. It says right here, sunlight hypersensitivity. So when they start their turn, they're about to take some radiant damage. Here we go. And because they're in direct sunlight, they can't heal. Oh no! Windwall goes off at him. That is so cool. You see Snow, while this happens, Florian, well and carefully, whatever Snow whispered to him, he takes a turn, stands in front of Snow, but does so and takes out a handkerchief, just, well done, Cadel! Good show! Good show! He's like leaning over the railing kind of style. But you guys realize, very careful, no one. Touch him now, as he is in front of Snow before any bad guys. It's very careful, like, so Cadel, like, you naturally like, thanks, Florian. Like, all right, I guess. But, like, yes, this was a strategic thing to keep him out of harm's way.
Right, because he's a non-combatant, or he doesn't.
Yes, he is human. He's got very, very, very few hit points and not a great AC. Here we go. At the end of Snow White, Cadel, that is your turn. Is there anything you would like to try to do this time? Because you already have protection from good and evil on you. That's a concentration thing, so you should be fine unless you take damage. What would you like to try now?
Oh gosh. Because I it would be a good idea to use my buckler, but that is lowering a lot of like my defense a lot, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh. I think at this point I do want to charge, but I want to stab and like grapple the guy.
Just like it. So instead of taking 2 attacks, it's making 1 grapple type hit to try to like hitting him, still doing damage, like you can smite on it, do all that stuff, but it's trying to have him lose a strength check to get pushed.
And if it's also possible, use some blinding smite while it's still stabbed inside of him.
Yeah, exactly right. Because yeah, just like he can bamf some necrotic on you, you can do some blinding radiance to him. Here we go. Here comes the charge. As boom, you guys meet. Go ahead, 1 attack each. He rolls his still with disadvantage.
Cadel, before you roll.
I'll still say you haven't told me yet. Before you roll, yes, Belle.
Before you roll, Cadel, would you like to roll a natural 20?
I would love that a lot.
I can confirm her portents. She rolled 2 16s and 2 18s and a 20.
That makes it a 30. That makes it a 30.
That hits! That crits! He rolled with disadvantage a 14. Cadel, your sword starts glowing. Celestial, divine, anger, and righteous smite. Dear Lord, how many D8s is that? Wait, you're two-handing the sword, because again, you have to two-hand it. So this is a D10 for your sword, because it's two-handing, right, to push. It's a D8 of your natural radiance. It's, oh gosh, what's next? D8 of your radiance. Smites, yes, blinding smite, you said. Good heavens above. Blinding.
So D10, D8, and what else am I missing?
So wait, D10, D8, and blinding smite. I'm trying to see how much smite he has to take. 3 more D8, so 4 D8 and 1 D10. And all of that doubles to make 2 D10 and 8 D8 radiant damage.
Okay, so this is a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna roll for the radiant damage right now. That is 31 for radiant damage.
So that doubles. Okay, so there's 31 doubles to 62.
Okay, and then so it's 2d10s then, yeah?
2d10s, yes. Good lord above.
It's chemo.
That is 13.
13. Your normal sword, that's still a ton of damage. And here comes the all-important Cadle. Here's the opposed strength check. I'm going to say on a crit smite, he is going to roll the strength with disadvantage. He has to. This is bad for him. He was nowhere close to hitting you with his strength. He is now basically just trying not to be thrown off of this horse. Good heavens, here comes his strength. No, this isn't Box of Doom because I think I know how this is going to end. Okay, Cadle, go ahead, make me a athletics check. This is your strength, plus, I think you're proficient in athletics, so plus your proficiency bonus of, which should be 6 now, level, or so 5.
I actually got 9 in athletics.
Oh, yeah, you have 9 athletics, because you have 5 plus 4. Yeah. Good heavens, this is insane.
That is a 16.
Cadle, a 16 beats a natural 1.
Oh, yes.
As
Oh my
with,
God.
Again, disadvantage. He cannot, in any way, I am not a fair DM if I let this dude have any sort of base. He is at disadvantage. You all watch as with a show of pure divine anger and smite, boom, you carry him off of his mount and drive him into the dirt. I'll say he takes another 4 points of falling damage because that's gotta friggin' hurt. He is thrown off his steed. His steed, finishes off going through. Cadle, at which point you know the rules of engagement state. This is when you hop off your steed now as well because you dismounted. But now he's prone and you're up. Here we go. So I will say this. So Cadle, yes, your steed. So Philip kind of goes off to the side, right? It's that natural, like, Philip kind of turns his gun to just like hang out in the corner, just like his steed. And this is where like this fight is now ground level. Belle, I hate your portents. They're the worst thing in the world. I hate them. I want you dead. I want your family dead. I want your dog dead. I want them all dead. I'm gonna kill you all.
So much. I don't care what he says. Thank you.
Nat 20 portent into the paladin to smite the dude into the dirt. Yeah, Zamresh went from perfectly healthy, and even that Smarmy, he was regenerating, like, even when you got hits off, he's fine, to horribly hurt, and because of that radiance, that regen stops for this round. So even though, like, it's like, if you take radiant damage before your turn, you don't get to regen. So now it's his official turn. We're at the top of the order. Yes, Adam.
Sorry, just one more thing to add the cherry on top. Didn't Cadle use a blinding smite? So it was a con save, I think it was.
A constitution saving throw for a blinding smite. Thank you so much for keeping me aware. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This ain't good. Come on, Zamrish.
Wait for me. Come on, dude.
He is... Con is his best, I will say. He's got a good save in it. He's a knight, but he's got to beat Cadle. What is your spell save DC? That should be 8 plus your proficiency 13 plus your spellcasting charisma, all of which should be. I think it's 16 currently.
I have 14 for my spells save, but I don't know if I upgraded that.
I don't think we've updated, because again, your proficiency bonus plus 8 should give you a base 14 plus your charisma modifier. Or excuse me. At level 16, your modifier is plus 5, so it's 13 plus your charisma, and your charisma is good. Yeah, what's your charisma modifier?
Let's see. So for my saving throws, I have a +6, but for a regular modifier, I have a +1. Did I do that right?
Yes, you did, because again, your
Okay.
charisma modifier, you have proficiency in the saving throws, but you have a lower charisma as you put it more into strength than your spells. Right, so
Oh.
it is still a 14. We got that right.
Okay. Just wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
make
that again. The saves aren't great for your spells, but you can still do them. It's the you put more so that your attacks deal more damage kind of vibe. I'm remembering this now.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so he only has to beat a 14 on his save here. Doesn't have anything great to it.
And he is at disadvantage technically, yeah.
Not for the saving throw, but 5 plus 8 is 13. He is blinded.
Oh.
Jeez freaking Louise. Until the spell ends. Cadel, so here's the all-important question now. Cadel, you will not be concentrating on your protection from good and evil. It's that, like, but you can now be concentrating on this blinding spite because as long as that's up, he's blind.
Okay.
Gosh. So, cool. He's blinded. It's his turn. He can't regen. He's gonna try hitting you while blinded. He's got disadvantage. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay. He's gonna try. He's no longer going for impaling, as again, impaling is really only great when you're like trying to stick someone to the ground, going off like when you're on the dirt, you're just gonna take 2 attacks, is his mode of thinking. So here comes the first one at disadvantage. That's already a miss, so I won't even bother. Here comes the second one. That was a nat 20, but it's at disadvantage. Miss it. Boom, boom, Cadel. You see, sword is coming down fast on your head. As again, this dude spends half of his movement just to stand up, and right before it hits your helmet, you just like, boom, and feel the sword pass behind your back perfectly as the crowd goes bananas. You see everyone, boom, boom, Cadel, boom, boom, Cadel, boom, boom, Cadel, boom, as everyone is absolutely going wild for you. This dude, again, off of his horse blinded, that was his full turn.
Am I allowed a reaction?
Unfortunately, no, again, because most of the reactions, he has to hit you for that reaction come out.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Again, it's that past the give and take of reactions.
Okay.
The squires, on their turn, all of these vampire squires, you watch, all start burning alive. Adam, as sizzling, burning, boils and like skin abrasion appear as in this harsh, boiling sunlight as Adam, control weather, it's 121 degrees here in Sumani and they're gonna feel it all. They are burning alive and the wind wall is pushing them back close. They all take, these 3 go off this way, these 3 go off this way to naturally just not be in the wind wall. But the wind wall again stretches down, so like they can't go around easily to get to you guys.
Mm-hmm. At which point, it'd be very apparent.
It's you can't sneak up on that. All the vampires, boom, hoods are up. They are hissing in anger as they look at you guys. But they can't do crap right now because it's orders, right? You can't do that. It's the orders. Belle, that is then your turn.
And I'm just gonna keep holding my action for the Steel Wind Strike should they attack.
Excellent. So that's still all perfectly in waiting. So boom, all your protection from good and evil is up. You wait that. Adam, that is your turn. What would you like to do?
I mean, I'm kind of smirking at them, but at this point, I'm still gonna kind of keep an eye on them out of the corner, and maybe I might hold I might hold I also prepared investiture of wind for today. I might hold an investiture of wind, though I'm not expecting to use anything quite yet.
Gotcha. So holding it, not expecting it. Perfect. I will definitely allow that. Because it would be that again, the wind wall drops, but the investor happens. So yeah, it's a very low chance, but you never know. Adam, as that happens, why not? Snow White is going to stand up with Florian and also just cheer, "Go, Cadle!" Cadle, you get a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
That's going to be a D12 you can add to your attacks to help hit. Yeah, she's gonna do it. I mean, you gotta help you with it. Boom. Cadle, that is now your official turn. This dude is blinded, so fun fact, all attacks you take are already with advantage.
Awesome. Okay.
That's what's wild with this.
All right. Screw it. Like, once again, I'm gonna do 2 attacks, and technically it's two-handed, yeah?
Yes, because yeah, your shield is kind of like shield's gone. It's two-handed, just kill this dude. It's a knight's fight now.
All right. I'm going to two-hand this guy. If both attacks succeed, blinding smite on both of them. Okay.
Yikes!
Oh gosh. Okay. That's a 28 on the first.
Yeah, 28 hits. Easy stuff.
That is a 15. And I do have Bardic Inspiration.
You've got the Bardic, so you can roll a D12 and add that to the 15.
Okay. Come on. That's a 16.
Oh
no.
So close. Oh, that's the worst. But still, one attack is gonna hit this dude. And you can definitely throw another blinding smite in there. It's only 3rd level. You got a couple. Go ahead, yes. So this is going to be 4d8 and only 1d10 this time again. Instead of 8d8, it's 4d8. And so, yeah, 1d10, 4d8. And all of that, excuse me, plus your strength modifier. I actually forgot to add that in last time.
Oh, gosh, I've been forgetting to add that too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So let's just... Gosh. I'm going to add that in retroactively because you've got a good strength. So I'm going to...
Okay. All right.
Okay. From last time, added.
I've been adding the attack bonus, but not the damage, like strength modifier. So, yeah.
Yes. So go ahead. Roll. Let's start with the 4d8 and start with the 4d8 because, of course, that's the radiant part of this damage that's important for a vampire.
8. Okay, that is a 25.
Oh my gosh. 25 damage. He's looking on death's door.
And that's 25 for the radiant damage. I still add the D10. D10. That is 13.
Cadle, how do you do this?
Okay, all right. I am.
Oh yeah, swords up. Yeah, it's a sword fight. This is.
So I'm gonna freaking half-hand this sword, slam the pommel into
Boom.
him, and then just spin around and then pick out the gun.
As not blood, but just intestinal like liquid just spews out of this creature, this undead, cursed thing. As this knight slams to the ground, the crowd loses it. As this is, a friendly knight competition. He killed him? Like, everyone goes nuts, Cadle. The vampires behind you immediately turn and book it. They are gone. So gone. as Cadel, the body starts burning away and melting until only the suit of armor remains. The sword lying in the ship. And you actually watch the horse actually disappears into Ethereum. This was just a conjured horse by this dude. All of this leaves. The crowd is just going berserk. Officials are running onto the field because it's like, whoa, we weren't expecting someone to die. Like, what's going on? As Cadel, you feel that sweet vindication of justice. To hell with your old oaths. You're still a damn good knight. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Are you not entertained?
Well done. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.